Have you ever experienced a moment of supernatural enlightenment? I had one this past summer that I will never forget. I was pretty discouraged. Not all of our churches survived COVID. We experienced a wave of open churches, and I was feeling discouraged by the rapid growth of godlessness in our culture. The enormity of our challenge in Colorado and Utah seemed overwhelming to me. The Lord drew me to an example of how Jesus resolved the tension between profound need and limited resources. We're told in Matthew chapter 9, verse 37, that Jesus understood what an awesome task was before him. And he said to the disciples, "The harvest is plentiful and the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest to send more laborers into the harvest field." Well, since then, the Lord keeps reminding me that Jesus' go-to resource was prayer for more laborers, not buildings or strategy or funding. I felt led of the Lord to reach out to each of our ministers and ask them to email me back a list of names of those in their ministry or relationships who may be exploring a call to ministry. It took me 8 hours to send those emails. But my emails started blowing up. I got a list of names that I compiled into one list. It was 240 names. That is nearly half of our roster. It's just a reminder that sometimes we focus on money and strategy and promotion, but Jesus taught his disciples to focus on prayer for laborers. I took that list to our July Presbytery meeting, and we spent 30 minutes in prayer, calling out those names before the Lord and asking God to raise up a divinely called army of future laborers for Colorado and Utah. The Holy Spirit fell in that meeting in such a powerful way that we felt led of the Lord to call our entire network to a new focus in 2022. And that's why I'm asking you to do 4 things this next year. 1 is pray. I want to send this list and ask you to pray over each and every one of those names. 2, I'm asking that sometime in March you either preach a sermon on or share your testimony on how God calls people to ministry and why he does it and how they could recognize it in their life. 3, I'm asking you to follow up with those who may respond or feel that God is calling them, whether that's a short meeting after church or you meeting them with them for a couple weeks answering questions. But we're asking you to give them a copy of the book, Explore the Call, that we will provide for free. Then fourthly, we're asking you to make yourself available for call mentoring or answering questions. We cannot predict the future and our challenges are great. But every generation of ministers is a prophetic prescription for what the future will need. That's why we need our ministers to invest in those who will speak truth to their own generation. Call mentoring should be a priority of every minister. It's also why the Presbytery and I are asking you to join us in this network-wide effort. That's why we've created a resource page at rmdc.org/called that will give you the tools and the examples and everything you need to do this effectively on your own level. Now, will you join us at this desperate hour? Will you help us identify, resource, and mentor those that God is raising up to be a prophetic voice to their own generation? If so, email me at gene@rmdc.org. Why should we do this? Because Jesus was right. The divine call of God is the only thing that can push back the sea of godlessness. Will you join us in this effort? I hope you will.